He's a red killer.
Hey, somebody has run out on the field. Some goofball in a hat and a red shirt. Now he takes off the shirt. He's running down the middle by the 50. He's at the 30. He's bare-chested and banging his chest. Now he runs the opposite way. He runs at the 50. He runs at the 40. The guy is drunk. And there he goes. The 20. They're chasing him. They're not going to get him. Waving his arms. Bare-chested. Somebody stop that man. Oh, they got him.
All right, little early fade there. Welcome to Fantasy and Chill, our first episode of the season due to some, well, let's just say I had a hurricane blow through a little earlier this year. But we are back, week 5, 6, so we're a little late, but we are coming to you to update you on what's going on in the world of fantasy football. So I am your, Britt, I know you love this, I'm your quarterback, Ryan. Joined again by Britt. Took a season off, but he is back. All right. Thanks, Britt. And as always, we got producer Matt behind the glass.
Saw it, dudes.
So let's get right to it because it has been a while. And this week this might have been the highest scoring week I can ever remember. What do you guys think? As far as just individual performances.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they said it was the first week ever that 5 people scored over 40 points.
Wow. So on that note, Matt, go ahead and hit us with that drop.
Oh shit, I was supposed to have that ready. Stall.
Well, it's my favorite drop of the show.
And
I need it.
See.
Oh,
Fantasy studs.
Oh, no,
Fantasy studs. It had been so long. I needed it.
My bad.
So our first stud, maybe the most unlikely culprit on this list, our very own Texan. We love him. Will Fuller the fifth. 14 catches for 217 yards and 3 touchdowns. By far his biggest day as a Texan. Maybe doubled like his overall career production in one game here. Like, we did not see this coming. I predicted last week that Deshaun Watson would have a huge day, which he did. We'll get to him in a minute. But you would think it would be Hopkins and not Fuller as the biggest benefit of that. So what do you think about Will Fuller moving forward?
I mean, I think you have to play him this coming week at Kansas City. I mean, I think Hopkins is going to come around too, but still, I think after that performance, 16 targets, 14 catches, 200 yards, you're playing him again. I don't see how you sit him this week.
What if I told you that Bill O'Brien was his head coach? Then does that change your mind?
Yeah, a little bit, but I mean, you're still, I don't know. You can't really, I don't know who you're starting over him now.
Yeah.
Well, you know Derek's starting him for sure.
Well, that's
this week, yeah.
After he had him on the bench.
Well, you can't blame him for that.
Yeah,
I wonder what percentage
too.
you think he was started, like 20%, 30% of leagues?
Yeah, I mean, even right now he's 30% started, and that's going into this week. So yeah, it was probably less than that.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I mean, you never thought he would be a guy that would catch 14 passes. Like, he's just, the big play guy.
Well, he's always been that boom or bust, though. Yeah, he's either getting you fucking 25 or 30 or 4 or 5.
That's also too. You can throw him 20 passes when he's wide open. He's not going to catch 14 of them just because he's that bad.
So Deshaun only completed 28 passes, so he had half of his receptions or half of his passes were completed to Will Fuller. That's just crazy to me.
Real quick though, while we're on the Texans, I get a bunch of. No, Austin's going to hate this. I get asked a lot about DeAndre Hopkins and will he start, performing. What do you have to say?
Yes, buy low. Try your best to get DeAndre Hopkins on your team. He's about to start going off.
Okay.
I don't think anyone's going to be selling low on Hopkins. Like, I feel like if you drafted him, you took him in the first round this year, and you're not just going to give him up for anything. So,
well, you're going to have to give up something to get him. But I think that if you have Hopkins, you're probably, since you invested that first round pick in him, you probably don't have the best record right now. So you might be trying to do a flip one and get 2 or 3 guys back. So in the right situation.
Yeah, you're right.
which I'm trying to do with the DeAndre Hopkins owner in our league, but it ain't gonna work. But I can try.
That's the that's the problem with the buy low and the sell high stuff. It doesn't work when you're talking about like these stud guys you drafted in the first round because no one's gonna sell low on a guy that they unless you're Austin and you're selling David Johnson.
Damn.
That wasn't even selling low. That was just selling.
That's
That was
true.
liquidating.
He was kind of selling medium, but sold for low. I don't know. It was weird, but okay.
That's the thing this year. Just let me go over the top 5 wide receivers. Maybe y'all can guess them.
Well,
There's
number one
really,
is Chris
honestly,
Godwin.
yes, and there's one wide receiver in here, and it's Michael Thomas, who I would have guessed would be in the top 5. But other than that, none of these players I would have guessed would be in the top 5.
So it's Chris Godwin,
Yep,
Michael
number
Thomas.
1. Yeah, Michael Thomas is 4. We play half PPR, by the way.
Well, I have one listed on here. Amari Cooper.
Yep, Amari
Amari
Cooper's
Cooper.
2, who I would have guessed would have been 5 to 10, but not a top 5 guy.
And I have
You
the
could
top
see him
5.
being a top 5 though.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the 5th because I was doing my research, DJ
What about
Chark.
Keenan Allen?
Nope, he's 6. All
DJ
these
Shark's
have
number
not.
5.
Yep, DJ Shark, 94 points. All these guys have 94 and above.
It's the year of the wide receiver, too.
Yeah,
It's
and then,
going back.
and then
It's shifting.
Cooper Cup, number 3.
Oh, I forgot about Cooper Cup.
Yeah, and Will Fuller is actually the wide receiver 8 with 76 points.
Oh,
and
yeah,
he
when
put
you
up
put up
50
50
last
points.
week.
Yeah.
And then
Kinda
Cortland
easy.
Sutton's 9. And Tyler Lockett's 10. I mean, the number ones are going to come around, but still, it's a pretty crazy. DeAndre Hopkins is the 21st ranked wide receiver right now.
When we do this at the end of the year, the guys at the top will be your main guys.
Put it on the board.
Yeah, like Juju and Odell.
I don't know about Juju. But Hopkins definitely will be up there. He's about to get going. Which brings us to our next stud. Running back for the Carolina Panthers, Christian McCaffrey. The do-it-all back. 19 carries for 176 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also added 6 catches for 61 yards and a touchdown. I mean, what can I say about him? He's carrying my team.
Yeah, I mean, basically, you got what you drafted. Like, if you drafted
More.
top 3 picks and you got him, you're getting what you paid for, basically.
Yeah, he's almost value at number 2, which is weird to say.
Well,
yeah.
with Saquon going down, yes, but I still think Saquon would outperform McCaffrey in a full 16-game season.
Maybe
He ain't-
16 games, but he has over 150 points through the first 5 weeks.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that has contributed to Cam getting hurt, too, which I thought it was going to go the opposite way.
If you watch
I mean,
their game, it's just like Kyle Allen either hands the ball off to McCaffrey or gets a snap
Yes.
and then looks directly at McCaffrey and just dumps it off to him. It's like
He is
that's their offense.
And I thought Greg Olson would play a bigger part, too, and he hadn't done shit the last 2
Yeah,
weeks.
0
Derek
and
Lewis
like 1 point.
That's just tight ends, though.
No, but I'm saying like a new quarterback that comes in, he usually relies on the tight end a little bit more, and he just hadn't been getting dick. So
That's true. All right, let's go to our next stud. Running back for the Green Bay Packers. He's finally free. Free Aaron Jones. Hashtag. Aaron Jones, 19 carries for 107 yards and 4 touchdowns.
let's go.
He also added 7 catches for 75 yards. So, Britt, this is your running back. Talk about him.
Go.
I mean, I knew he was going to be this good.
Oh, yeah, we know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to lie, I was fucked this week, and then Aaron Jones was my only player playing at 3. Everyone else played at noon, and he basically saved my entire week. And the touchdowns just kept coming. I don't know. Jamal Williams was out, and he just got every single touchdown. I'm not going to count on this every week, but I feel like going forward, he's a top 10 running back. I mean, he's number 4
Ooh.
right now after that week.
It's just so stupid because the Packers should have been doing this for 2 years. He's shown that he can be a guy like a number 1 running back, and yet they still. I get it, they have Aaron Rodgers and those stud wide receivers, but I mean, now Matt, I know the way you feel about Aaron Jones, but I think you got to give him the ball. Like, he's good.
Okay, he's had 2 good games, and then the 3 other games, he's averaged less at 3 yards or less than 3 yards per carry.
Okay, but look who he's played. He averaged 3 yards at Chicago. He averaged 5 yards Minnesota. That was a 24-point game, 23
Yeah.
carries, 120 yards. Then he played Denver, who has a whatever. I don't know what to really think about their defense. Then he played Philly, who's got a very good run defense as well. And then
But
he played
21
Dallas, who's got a
yards.
good defense also. Yeah, but 6 catches for 37 too. He
Yeah, but
still finished with
also
15.
that Philly game, if they would have called him some damn plays on the goal line, he could have had a couple touchdowns.
True.
Yeah,
And
well,
that's I mean, that's what I'm banking on. He's at 8 touchdowns. I'm just saying there's 4 running backs right now with over 104 points. It's him, Austin Eckler, which I mean we all know where that's going. Dalvin Cook and McCaffrey. It's pretty nuts.
Are you worried about Jamal Williams coming back? Because they said they're going to
Not
go to that
now.
50-50.
Not now. I feel like he's established his role now. Like, and I mean, Aaron Jones even before he was just dependent upon like as long as he get goal line touches, I'm playing him every week.
But you have to.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, my running backs are him and James
I'm just
Conner.
saying, even no matter what
Amy
your running
Wynn.
back situation is, you got to play Aaron
Oh,
Jones.
yeah.
True. Yes. Unless you're
All right, let's
turfing,
get
you
to
put him on your
our-
bench, and then he goes off.
No matter what
True.
the situation is, he will make the wrong decision.
Yes.
Let's get to our first quarterback on the list. We already talked about him a little bit with Will Fuller, but Deshaun Watson was 28 of 33, 426 yards, 5 touchdowns. Also had 4 carries for 47 yards and a perfect 158.3 passer rating.
I just want to know where this has been all season. I mean, he had a decent performance versus New Orleans and the Chargers, but I don't know.
It could be there. It's just
I mean, you're starting him every week. It's just
now I will say that the week before versus the Panthers, he played like shit.
yes.
It was not.
Yeah.
We can't blame that one on Bill O'Brien in the play. Like he played like absolute shit.
You can blame it on Bill O'Brien.
A little bit.
Let's not get let's
But
not
I
get it
mean,
wrong.
if you watch the game, which we did, it was terrible. He
It is.
wasn't making his reads, holding the ball for 8 seconds every play. So then when he comes out and does it, now remember last week I predicted a huge game from Deshaun Watson. Just you can look at the board; it's up there.
I don't see it.
I don't know
Oh,
who's
you're right,
not
sorry.
having a huge game versus Atlanta these days, but yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, that brings me to my point, which Deshaun Watson's good, okay, but there was 2 things which made him good this week. One was he's playing Atlanta, giving up the second highest passer rating besides Miami, and then we got to give some respect to the O-line.
Yeah, they're
Is that-
playing better.
But this was like, I think I was asking you when we were watching. I was like, I asked if Deshaun Watson even got sacked yet, and you thought I
So I don't know
jinxed
if
it.
you
But
saw the stat, and he had 1 QB hit, but the QB hit was one where he scrambled out of the pocket, and he had already thrown it, and they like nudged him after he threw the ball, and they called it a QB hit. Only time he was touched all day. Which, if
Yeah.
you watch Texas game, which look up here, yeah, right there, you see that? We watch
okay,
Texans games.
Yeah.
We see our shitty O
Got
line.
a Goodwill on discount.
Nah, man, it's an expensive shirt here.
See, you're funding Bill O'Brien's terrible coaching.
Where is Deshaun Watson in your quarterback rankings for ROS rest of season?
I mean, top 5 for sure.
He's higher than that.
I put him like right at 5.
I mean, I'm still taking Mahomes.
Tell me 4 guys higher than him for the rest of the season.
Mahomes for sure.
Mahomes, okay.
Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan, yes. Let me see who else we got.
Now you're grasping at straws. You gonna put
Matt-
Lamar ahead of him?
How's
put
Matt Ryan
Russell
grasping at
Wilson.
straws?
No, I meant
Russell Wilson,
after that.
Mahomes, Matt Ryan, and then maybe Lamar Jackson, Dak Prescott, Carson Wentz around there. So he's right there around the 4 or 5, though. I'm
Deshaun
definitely putting.
is your number 2 quarterback the rest of the season.
It's just I've seen how we play against like good defenses, and we make it way too close of a game than we have to.
Right, but sometimes that close game is like last week where it would have been 40-40 had we not got a turnover at the end.
I mean,
Okay,
close
but
and
hold
low
on.
scoring.
Let's just go over who he has left. At Kansas City, okay, we'll see he has above average game there. At Indy has a good defense. Oakland, okay, he has above average game there. Jacksonville, he had 13 the last time he played him. He's got a bye. Baltimore is actually not a very good defense this year. Okay, whatever. Indy. Then he's got New England, Denver, Tennessee. And then he's got Tampa Bay in week 16 and then Tennessee again. But that's not a cake schedule.
I
Oh,
just
yeah.
heard MVP. That's all I heard.
All right.
So how's he gonna do
Oh,
at KC next week?
He is gonna put up 21 points.
Hey, you know what, Matt? Put this on the board. I'm gonna say
21,
Kyler Murray
21.
outscores Deshaun Watson for the rest of the season.
Oh,
Mark that down.
wait, can we actually get a bet on this one? Say it.
What
Say
are we
it.
betting?
Say it clear for the episode, so I can cut this.
I'm saying Kyler Murray from week 5 on outscores Deshaun Watson.
Damn.
Or so starting in week 6, I guess, is what I'm saying.
You take that bet, Ryan?
I'll take that bet.
Put something on it.
What are we putting on it?
Shotgun.
A shotgun.
Shotgun appearance
2 shotguns.
at the Super Bowl party.
At Super Bowl party.
2 shotguns.
As we're watching Deshaun Watson win the Super Bowl.
1 shotgun. If the Texans go to the Super Bowl, I will
Shave my fucking head.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a deal. You heard it here.
I'm
folks.
writing this down. Y'all keep going.
Not the butt chug.
I didn't even hear that part, but okay.
All right, next stud, another wide receiver, one that we mentioned earlier. He's had a good year, but he went off this game. Amari Cooper of your Dallas Cowboys. 11 catches for 226 yards and 1 touchdown. So I don't know about you, but I was watching this game playing against Derek, who has Amari Cooper, and I was having flashbacks to that Cooper game from last year where he went off for you. Like, it was just crazy.
Yeah. I'm selling, though. Like, I just feel like this is his highest he's going to be. I mean, looking at their schedule going forward, he's got the Jets, whatever, Philly, then a bye, Giants, whatever. He's got Minnesota, Detroit, New England, Buffalo, Chicago, the Rams, Philadelphia, Washington. I'm selling Amari Cooper after his bye week. Let him play the Giants and then sell high.
I just think they throw the ball way more than they need to.
Yes, this is going to be a Zeke team. That's the way they should be, though.
Yeah, but they don't. They let Dak just air it out.
I know, but they're going to realize that, though.
With Michael Gallup back, that just opens things up even more.
I know, but the Cowboys are going to realize they have to play defense and run the ball. Like, they cannot get in shootouts.
Well, I hope Derek trades him to me. Then I'll take him.
I mean, yeah, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying I would sell high on him. You could probably get a top tier running back right now for him or something. Or someone's going to need him. Number 2 wide receiver right now, averaging 20 points a week.
Yeah, I think I'm with Britt on this one. I think he's a good wide receiver. I don't know if I'm going to sell him, but you can't be expecting this output he's giving you each week.
I mean, even going into the draft, I had heard all about his having foot problems. And any wide receiver with foot problems, I'm off of. And I mean, he's been playing great, no problems at all. So, I mean, I feel like he's got about 3 or 4 more weeks, and then I'm selling.
Whoa. Predicting injuries here.
No, not predicting injuries. I'm saying his schedule upcoming. I think it's going to be more of the running offense from the Cowboys. Minnesota, Detroit, New England, Buffalo, Chicago. Like, that's 5 weeks in a row.
And they all have great run defenses.
Yeah, but they can't put up points,
You're not
really.
growing on them, though. That's what I'm saying.
What are you doing?
You're low-scoring games, just like versus the Saints.
The Bears just gave up 20-something to the Raiders.
Yeah, it was a London game.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, London.
Fuck
like
EU.
You're from London.
You talk like you're from London. All right, next stud. Another one of Derek's players that I got to go up against.
Stud.
The Eagles defense and special teams. They gave up a total of 6 points, had 10 sacks, 1 fumble recovery, 2 interceptions, and 2 touchdowns. And I don't know.
You got a taste of your own medicine, though.
From the
True.
The Patriots.
I mean, you've got lucky with the Patriots D putting up 110 fucking points.
Not lucky. I saw what their schedule was, and I spent money on them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, still.
The thing that pissed me off in this one, like, they had like 24 points, and then right at the end of the game, who were they playing again?
The
Eagles,
Jets. Jets.
Yeah.
They fucking sacked Luke Falk, and they just took the ball from him. They just grabbed it, took it, and just ran it in. It's like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
Like, it's
The
so
Jets
pathetic.
mark my word too, the Jets will be a different team with Sam Darnold.
Oh, I don't think that's a question at all.
No.
Well, yeah, then
I'm
Luke
saying they could
Falk.
go on a little run here.
Might as well have you out there quarterbacking.
Maybe.
I
Who
will
they got
say,
here?
if you're pushing for I know it's week 5, but if you're pushing for a championship, grab the Eagles defense kind of later on in the season. They
Like
play
their schedule.
week 13 through 15. They play Miami, the Giants, and Washington.
Yeah, pretty good.
Maybe I should get them from Derek.
Yeah, right. I mean, you already got the Patriots, but
Yeah, but they got a rough playoff schedule.
oh, that sucks. It's only like you
Already
had
done that
8
research.
weeks of
Yeah,
easy
but
ass.
it would have been nice if they had a cake playoff schedule.
Would have been nice if their whole schedule was easy.
Yeah, it would have been nice if they could just play the Bills, Dolphins, and Jets every game.
Whoa, don't hate on Bills Mafia, man. They'll come and get you. Ketchup all over your face.
Next stud. Wide receiver for the Saints, Michael Thomas, 11 catches, 182 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Are we a little surprised that he's kept the production up with Teddy Bridgewater throwing in the ball?
Very.
This was the first week they actually allowed Bridgewater to throw down the field, though. I went and looked. So his average depth of target for like the first 3 weeks was around 7 yards, and then this last week it jumped up to 11, and this is his highest week of the year. So I don't know if that's a correlation, but if they keep letting him throw it,
How you liking Bridgewater as a Camaro owner?
well, I didn't like him last week. The 2 weeks ago, all he was doing was just checking down to him, and it was awesome. But well, he's not scoring that many touchdowns with Breeze in there. That's another problem. I'd rather have Breeze back, to be honest. I mean,
Would you trade Aaron Jones for Kamara?
would you? Yeah. Would I? No. I'm not trading Kamara for Aaron Jones.
Matt doesn't even like Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I think he's bad.
Where do you have Michael Thomas rest of season? Top 5?
Top 5, yeah, easy.
Yeah, I don't think things have changed really since the draft.
Yeah, I mean, they're not throwing way down the field with him, but it's just the passes that he's getting. 13 targets, 11 catches,
He gets
182 yards.
He's a
Yes.
volume guy.
Yes, very steady.
All right, let's get to a surprising wide receiver here, a top 5 wide receiver. He's kept it up all year. Matt, you have this drop ready to go?
No, dude, you didn't ask me. Is this the drop you were
I
asking?
just remembered. So it's DJ Shark Jr. So then Matt was going to play Baby Shark, but
I mean,
Yeah.
if you give me a second, we might get
I
copyrighted.
feel like
but-
you're starting him every week. It doesn't matter.
he had 8 catches for 164 yards and 2 touchdowns. His value has skyrocketed with Gardner Minshew in there. He loves him. Been his favorite target. What is that?
Rain Man got him for $45 in our league.
$45? He spent that much on him?
Hey, I mean, you can't argue with it now.
No, I mean it's worked out, but at the time, I mean that's kind of.
You want to know what it was? It's because I made a baby Chark post on Instagram. He probably saw that and was like, "Oh, well, they like him, so I must have to grab him too." I'm gonna start using our Instagram, make people overpay.
Are influencing people.
Yeah, I'm now an influencer.
So Britt, you said DJ Chark is a must start.
every week. I mean, I don't see how you don't.
Well, look at Derek's wide receivers. Who you benching?
Let's go over his team real quick.
He's got Amari Cooper, Will Fuller, DJ Chark, and who's his other?
Oh
wide receiver?
yeah, I mean, see, his problem right here is he needs to bundle some of these wide receivers and get a tight end. He's got Greg Olson. He needs to go get. He's got Devontae Freeman, T.Y. Hilton, and Cortland
T.Y.
Sutton
Hilton's
on his
really good.
bench. I would definitely
So, yeah, he's
package
got-
those. I would probably keep
4 receivers.
Cooper, Hilton, and DJ Shark. I start them every week in my flex. And he's got Chubb and Gordon. You're set.
What I would do is go try to package Fuller and Chark,
Yeah, 100%.
both coming
Get
off
a
the
tight
biggest
end,
games of the year.
Kelsey or Ertz.
Or Kittle, right, Matt?
Nah.
No,
And Matt
I'll give him
might
to
do
Laney
that.
Walker.
Mike Evans had 0, and I'm starting. Who
He
else
still
you
put up
running?
150.
Tyler Boyd.
Yeah, I just put up 0 to help Sam out, and he didn't even take advantage of it.
Yeah.
All right, let's end the stud section with 2 more quarterbacks here. We got Matt Ryan, who played the Texans this week. He was 32 of 46, 330 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Also added 3 carries, 7 yards, and a rushing touchdown. And then we also have Russell Wilson, who was 17 of 23, 268 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Matt's boy, 8 carries and 32 yards. So of these two guys, who do we like the rest of the season? Matt Ryan or Russell Wilson?
Oh, Russell Wilson, 100%.
Really?
100%.
100% Russell
So-
Wilson.
I own Russell Wilson, and I was actually targeting Matt Ryan in our draft. He just went earlier than I hoped, so I settled on Russell
When
Wilson.
did he go?
He went in the.
But I think
Name
y'all
it
took
on the part of
quarterback
the
a
draft I
little
can't
early
see.
though too.
Let me
You thought we took quarterbacks early?
No, because
We
Matt
took
went.
quarterbacks in the 12th round.
let me just talk about Matt
Okay,
Ryan
so
real
I
quick.
actually took Wentz before y'all. Yeah,
Yeah, that was dumb.
Oh, yeah.
I mean Wentz has been pretty solid.
Been all right.
So talk on Matt Ryan. Matt, we're waiting.
Oh, well, Britt's got to look up everyone's draft board real quick.
I was just seeing where I got my quarterback. So
Well, so the reason
Weird.
I was targeting him is because it's pretty obvious by now that Atlanta has a shitty defense, so they're gonna have to throw the ball a lot.
And
They've
shitty running back.
shitty. Well, yeah,
Freeman's been coming around.
it's just
Oh, he has.
it's been pretty
He's
bad.
been terrible.
What do you mean? No, I'm saying the last like 2 or 3
What do
weeks
you
he's had
mean?
his best
Could have
weeks.
dropped that, but we need a better one
Yeah.
than that, Britt.
What do you
Yeah,
mean?
because he had a touchdown. That's really all he did.
Oh, I'm just saying he's been getting better as the season's been going on.
Well, yeah, it's hard to. I mean, it's hard to not get better after you put up like 20 yards a game.
I mean, he's the number 23 ranked running back right now. That's not where he got drafted, but still, last 3 games he's at 11, 14, and 15 and a half. Is he rushing the ball very well? Absolutely not. He's making all his money on the catches.
Yeah. So my point was before Brent, wanted to talk about Devontae Freeman.
You should call me Brent.
Brent Brig. That they've been down pretty much every game. They trail the most out of anyone, like on all their snaps besides Miami, and they play a lot of their games in a dome. So it's just set up for them to be a passing offense right now. And then comparing him to Russell Wilson, who he's super efficient, but they just don't throw the ball that much. I think he had 30 points last week, but he only threw the ball 25 times.
23.
23. Oh, wow. I thought it was. I guess 25 is not much more. But at some point, he's going to regress. Like, he's not going to be that efficient with only 25 passes. Wilson, that is. So that's why I take Ryan over him.
He will get some rushing touchdowns, though.
Hey, Matt Ryan got a rushing touchdown.
Matt Ryan's going to throw a lot more interceptions.
But look, this is Russell Wilson's schedule left. Cleveland, they might be able to score some points. Baltimore's going to score points. Atlanta's going to score points. Tampa Bay's going to score points. The 49ers are going to score points. And he's got to buy. Eagles are going to score points. Vikings are going to score points. And the Rams are going to score
everybody's going to
points.
score points. Like,
No. But I'm saying these are all top offenses. Like, he's going to
how many top offenses are there in the league?
No, I'm just saying. I just named like 4 or 5 that are actually scoring a lot.
What about the Patriots and the Packers and the Cowboys and the Saints and the Texans?
No, I'm just saying Baltimore, Atlanta, Tampa Bay, San Francisco, Philly, those are some of the top offense, and the Rams. Like, he's going to have to score points the rest of the season. And he's the only thing Seattle has.
Chris Carson's been good.
He's been decent.
He's solid.
That's the thing with Wilson too. It's like they'll go up against like Arizona and Miami, and everyone has them ranked super high. But once they get the lead,
the 15th ranked running back.
once they get the lead in those games, they just start running the ball. They don't throw the ball anymore. So he has to go up against good teams, like with good defenses almost, for them to start passing it more.
15th ranked running back. That's solid.
I mean, yeah, but what I'm saying is if they're going to play teams that score points, and he's going to have to throw the ball to get them back in the game. They're not going to be able to just run the
So
ball.
who's your answer? Was Russell Wilson or Matt Ryan?
Russell Wilson, 100%.
Okay.
It's not even a
Matt,
close.
you said Matt Ryan. I'll be the tiebreaker. I'm going to say Matt Ryan.
I think it's close
But
though.
it's close.
Put it on the board.
All right, so that wraps up our fantasy studs. Like I said, there was a lot to get to this week. that was everybody that scored over 30 points this week. 10 players.
Damn,
Pretty
Daniel.
crazy. So our next segment, this is a new one. We're going to call this Cheers, because we are going to take our drink and we are going to cheers. This is going to be a quick little insight to our GFA league, which is the league that we've all been a part of for 9 years now. So we are going to raise our glass to a player on our team and kind of give them a shout out for what they've done this week or the season. So I will go first. Tonight I'm drinking a Galveston Bay watermelon wheat. It's delicious.
Nice.
You can call it gay, but it's delicious. I'm going to give a shout out. I back and forth on who I was going to shout out, but I've got to go with Leonard Fournette here because people were giving him shit at the beginning of the year. He wasn't really doing much, but in the last 3 weeks, he's turned it on. He had like 12. Where's the? Let me get this out.
Yeah, but probably 1, 2.
21.
But I don't remember it.
He had 12, which, not too good, but then he had 27.5 on 225 rushing yards. This week he had 23 on 108 yards, and he finally got a touchdown. He's catching passes. He's caught at least 4 passes in 4 out of 5 games. He's been a solid running back 2 for me behind McCaffrey. And so, thank you, Leonard Fournette.
You should be thanking Gardner Minshew
Cheers to you, Leonard.
for reviving that offense. Leonard Fournette is trash.
All right, Britt, let's hear your cheers. Who are you cheersing over there?
I'm cheersing Chris Godwin.
Who?
Chris Godwin, the number 1 wide receiver right now. Drafted him in the 6th round, averaging 21 points a game.
Wait, how many?
I couldn't be happier.
21.
21.
Pick him up.
He's been carrying you. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I got carried last week by Aaron Jones, but we won't talk about him.
How many points
we
did
already
Chris
did.
Godwin have last week?
He had
29.
29.
Damn. All right, Matt, who are you cheersing over there?
Are we limited to players only?
Do what now?
What else are you going to cheers to?
I gotta cheers to Bill Belichick
Okay, let's hear it.
for finally realizing that Sonny Michel can catch passes. They were high.
Did it have anything to do with Burkhead being out?
I mean, maybe
100%.
100%. Britt's go-to line. I like it.
How many
How
catches
many
did he have?
catches?
Like Britt said.
He only had 3, but that was his first. That was
Damn,
his.
James White.
That was his first 3 of the year, and this is the first time they actually lined him up outside. And if y'all are reading up on anything about Sonny Michel pre-draft, it was that in camp, we're gonna throw to him a lot more. He's gonna get so many receptions, and then the first 4 games, they don't throw one pass to him. They run him straight into the back of their own fucking line, and he gets no yards.
You telling me Sony had more catches than Mike Evans?
Okay. I don't know if I should take that as a compliment or like a shot,
Britt,
considering I own them
You had
both.
the same amount of catches as Mike Evans. I mean, shit.
God, hey,
So,
I
Matt, what are you
still
drinking
won.
for your cheers? Or you got to say
Oh,
it?
my bad. Cheers to you, Bill Belichick. Got the old fashioned going, and to you, Mike, if you want some old fashions.
There we go. So real quick, we're just going to give a quick update on our GFA league. Matt is currently 5-0 in first place.
Got a good schedule.
Got a great schedule.
Number 2 in scoring.
Matt has had the second least second least amount of points scored against him. So yeah.
Wait, why you gotta bring that up and not say that I have the second most points for?
Second most points, second least scored against. So you just had chips fall. Because I'm going to get to mine and why the chips fall. Because I'm
Play better
in second.
defense.
I'm 3-2 with the most points scored at 650, but I've given up 40 more points than you.
Yeah, but you're still at 4th points against.
Yeah, you're not that far down.
But I've scored the most points, so I get extra points there.
Mm.
So I'm in second with most points scored. Britt is also tied with me at 3-2. We kind of have a log jam there at 3-2, 2-3. But Britt has only scored 608 points. But I will say that Britt's team is kind of coming on strong lately.
We'll see.
Finding his place.
Yeah, you trying to make any trades, Britt?
Rest of the standings, we've talked about people in this league before. Sam is also tied with us at 3-2. Kickline's tied with us at 3-2. We all remember Derek for his retard moves. He is 2-3. Egan is 2-3. Turpin is somehow 2-3, even with all his dumb moves he makes. And then Blake and Mike bringing up the rear at 1-4. God, looking at Derek's again, I don't know if you watched the Astros game last week when Kevin Cash said they got Verlandered. I got Rain Man this week, big time.
It's always
Rain
going to
Man got
happen.
me.
Team's not terrible.
This team's not terrible.
He's like the Texans. Good team, terrible owner or terrible coach.
Real quick,
I got Rain Man.
who y'all picking for first and who y'all picking for last? You can't pick yourself.
Well, then first I'm going to say you, Matt.
I'll
Last,
take Sam.
I'm going to say Blake gets last just because I know the other guys that are fighting for last are at least going to attempt to manage their team.
Yeah. Oh, I'll take Turpin gets last.
I like that too.
Give me Turpin last. Sam wins it.
That's an easy pick.
What about you, Matt?
Turpin last. You know, I'm. And before
Actually,
Sam
hold on.
says,
I'm going to change mine. I'm going to say Derek wins it and Turpin gets last. I'm going to say the
That would be
exact same standings as last
quite
year.
the charge from
Okay.
Derek.
I know Sam's going to say suck him off, but, you know, I'll go with you. Yeah, I think your team's, you know, has some depth to it. I like your 1-2 punch with your running backs. And then
I can just get Odell to do anything.
Yeah. I'm going to say Mike gets last. I don't really like his team.
I thought you were going to say I don't really like him.
Oh, that too. But yeah.
Okay. So there's a quick GFA update. We will hit you again next week with how we did in our matchup. Just real quick, I played Brit this week, so some going at each other there. Brit,
Take it easy on me, bud.
going down, bitch. Matt, you are
What was that?
playing who?
Keegan.
Keegan. All right. Okay, since we have been gone for the first part of the season and we haven't had a chance to really talk about how things have been going, I wanted us to pick kind of our fantasy MVP through week 5. So, yeah, okay, we'll talk without you. So, what I wanted to do here was I asked everybody to pick their fantasy MVP. It did not have to be on their team, but everybody picked a player on their team anyways, the way it worked out. So, I'm going to let Matt, who is reaching in his closet for something. Oh, he's got to put it on. So Matt, if you are not watching the feed, is currently getting his Dalvin Cook jersey off of the hanger. He's holding it up.
I won't put it
so
on.
Matt, go ahead and start us off with your fantasy MVP and why.
I mean, okay, let me preface this by saying that I could have just went with the easy pick. My first initial pick was probably McCaffrey, just from how well he's been playing. I think he's got to be the MVP of the league. But when you first said it, I thought we were picking a guy off our own team, so I went with Dalvin Cook.
Well, there's an argument to be made for Dalvin.
No, there is. I think when you compare their values of where they've been drafted, I think they're kind of similar. So Dalvin right now is the number 2 running back. You could have got him in the second round.
Number 2 running back, number 7 overall player.
Yeah. And I don't think it's going to... And I know. He might get injured. That's what everyone's saying.
Hey, we had our little questionnaire at the beginning of the year. I said for at least 14 games, so I believe it.
Okay, respect. But he looks... So Kubiak came in. They installed that, zone blocking run scheme, and he's looked good in it. I think he fits that. I think he fits that really well. And if you've watched Kirk Cousins, other than last week, he's been pretty shit. So I think they have to run the ball. I think it's just going to keep going from now.
How much did he have this last week? Didn't he not do too hot?
No, he had almost 200 yards from scrimmage.
Oh shit! I was thinking the week before, versus Chicago.
Still, he had 16 points that game.
Yeah,
because he had a touchdown late. But yeah, he had 23 points, 132 yards rushing, and 86 yards receiving against the Giants. So it was the Giants, but I'll take it.
So he has, where did I see that? Where is it at? So he's been really good this year. Obviously, he's the number 2 running back. But if we just look at his points, I won't ruin it because I'll get to my guy here in a minute, but I'll bring it.
Fucking-
Britt, who's your fantasy MVP through 5 weeks, and why?
My personal fantasy MVP or like fantasy in general?
Well, it was supposed to be fantasy in general, but you can go with your personal fantasy MVP.
I mean, I'll just go fantasy in general. Fuck it. I mean, it's got to be McCaffrey. The dude is just, what does he have? 46, 30, 30, 47. Yeah. I mean, his touches are retarded. His catches are
Whoa,
retarded. His
whoa,
touchdowns. 2, 3,
Are
4, 5,
retarded?
6.
whoa.
What is that? 7 touchdowns on the year?
Yeah.
Can you say retarded anymore?
Well, you already said it 3 times, so.
I
I
ain't
mean,
cutting
like
it.
retarded good though.
Oh yeah.
4. So you're saying retards aren't good?
G-tard. Good retarded.
Who does Christian McCaffrey remind you of this year? Like, what do you think? The fantasy performances of old, just doing everything.
The only white running back I know is Peyton Hillis, who was worth a
Why is it gotta
shit.
be white?
You were supposed
What?
to say LT, and I was gonna say, was he LaDainian Thomas light or why?
Yeah, dude.
I'm gonna go with
It's
Peyton
the first
Hillis because
episode,
he's
man.
white.
No Toby Gearhart.
No, not at all.
Damn.
No
Peyton
Sammy
Hillis at
Ball.
least had. Let's look up his stats that 1 year, shall we?
Why?
I don't think anyone gives a shit about Peyton Hillis.
I mean, he
Well,
was on
Britt,
the
when I wrote
cover of
this,
Madden for 1 year. Like, okay, here he had 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns, 500 yards receiving, and 2 touchdowns. Pretty good
man, it's not
numbers.
that good.
What? 1,600 yards from scrimmage and 13 touchdowns? That's basically Kamara. Oh, but that's not that
So
good. Never mind.
Kamara Light.
Kamar White.
Oh.
So Britt, I had written down Chris Godwin for you. I thought you were gonna go there. Now
I
the
mean,
reason
yeah,
you
for
could defend Chris Godwin as the MVP because he's the number 1 wide receiver. He's number 11 overall player.
and
And
just
in what
where I
round did you
got him.
draft him?
Yeah, 6th
Yeah.
round, I think.
Yeah, it was
So
a
yeah,
6.
he's been if you just want to talk value, he might be the most valuable.
For sure. Just where I got him. Yes.
Now we'll get to my fantasy MVP. Now, before this past week, I had a different answer here. I was going to say Lamar Jackson. The reason I was going to say Lamar Jackson because up until this week he was the number 1. He was the number 1 overall player. I got him in the 14th round of the draft to take a chance on him. He had gotten over 21 points in every game. And then this week he played who did they play? They
The
played
Pittsburgh
the Pittsburgh
Steelers.
Steelers,
yeah.
and he threw 3 interceptions and he had 11 points.
The steel curtain.
So he's still the number 4 ranked quarterback, but his ranking and all his points took a hit. So I changed it over to my number 2 overall pick in the draft. Already been mentioned, but Christian McCaffrey. Number 1 overall player, number 1 running back. But the thing is that he's number 1 by so many points. It's not even funny, dude. Like, so if you look, he is, where is it at? He has 151.1 points. Number 2 is Patrick Mahomes with 134.3. He's 17 points ahead of Patrick Mahomes. That's pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
How you have 2 losses, I have no idea.
Well, I have the most points scored, so I told you that I've been unlucky.
Yeah. I mean, you only have 576 points against, though. I have 584. I have the same record.
That's 8 more points.
Do what now?
That's what I'm saying, though. But you have a guy scoring
Like
more than most
1.5 more points per
quarterbacks.
week. Like, what was your point there?
No, I'm saying I'm 3-2, but only put up 608. You put up 650 and 576. Like you've just had
So what
like
you're
2
saying is
bad weeks.
I'm getting fucked.
Kind of. Well, by
So
Odell.
this was Christian McCaffrey's points, 38.9 week 1. Okay, this is where I got a little worried. Week 2, he had 6.3 points. And I was like, what the hell, man? And I was a little worried, especially Cam got hurt. You had Kyle Allen coming in. We all know Kyle Allen. He's quarterbacked both of our college teams. Both of them pretty shittily.
Shittily?
But then
I
he
like
comes
that.
in. And then Christian McCaffrey is just the number one player again. 29.3, 28.9, 47.7. And if he wouldn't have hurt his back or his hamstring, whatever it was on Sunday, and he had run that last one instead of Bonifan for 80 yards and a touchdown, he would have had like 60 points.
Ifs and
So
buts
he
are candy and nuts. We'd all have a Merry
is
Christmas.
the bona fide fantasy MVP, maybe the league MVP this year. And he's your number one player, and he's going to stay the number one player. When we talk again in 12 weeks at the end of the year, he will be the number one player in fantasy. Boom.
But he's
roasted.
hurt.
He ain't hurt. But just in case he is hurt, I picked up Bonifan.
You ain't a believer. I don't have Madison for Cook. Don't pick up Bonifan.
Because he was
'Cause he's
drafted
already
too
picked
early.
up.
Shh.
Any other thoughts about MVP talk? Who's the guy that we did not mention who will be the fantasy MVP?
Fantasy MVP.
So a guy that we did not mention, but he by the end of the year, he will be the fantasy MVP.
I could pick
Say
my
it,
other
Matt.
boy,
About to say it.
Russell Wilson.
Oh, fantasy MVP, Russell Wilson.
He's yeah. I took him in like the 10th plus round.
I thought you were going to say Kamara.
And I mean, he hasn't been performing what McCaffrey's been doing right now. So I don't why would you consider him
I'll
the
throw out a
MVP?
name for fantasy MVP right now, but he won't be at the end of
Aaron
the season.
Jones.
Austin
God damn it.
Eckler.
Yeah, no way.
And
I'm saying right now, fantasy MVP.
okay,
Not
Oh,
by the
yeah.
end of the year.
Yeah, for right now.
From what he's done so far, he's what is he, number 3 running back? Number 2, or yeah, he's got to be number 3 or 4.
He's 3.
Number 3 or 4 running back. Now, when you drafted, you probably knew that Gordon was going to be out, so he probably went decently high. But to be that good, the problem now is that Gordon is back, and we saw what happened on Sunday. They just kind of split everything, and until that last drive where he caught 8 passes, he didn't do shit. So
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to go on there. Who are y'all taking the rest of the year, Gordon or Eckler?
Oh,
Gordon.
Gordon for sure.
I don't know if it's for sure.
It's not even close.
I don't.
Gordon's the better runner.
That's racist.
How's that racist?
My fantasy MVP that we haven't talked about is going to be Damian Williams from here on out.
Oh my god. He was
got
terrible before the
plenty.
draft. He's gonna be terrible now.
How many points did he have on Sunday, Britt?
5. Bad matchup.
How many? I didn't hear you. It cut out.
5.3 bad matchup.
Yep, that sound like MVP numbers to me.
Yeah.
From here on
MVPs, it always comes down to matchup with MVPs.
Hey, Christian McCaffrey got held to 6 points by Tampa Bay, so I
Hey,
don't wanna
6
hear
is
it.
more than 5.
Yeah, but he scored goddamn 47 last week.
Aaron
Yeah,
Jones had 46.
Damian Williams ain't putting up 47.
MVP.
Damn it! I should have got you to make that drop, man. I can say how many points did McCaffrey have last week?
Well, you gotta tell me
Because we're
beforehand.
not going to be able to use that very many times this year. That was one of the times.
That's true.
Dang it! I should have thought of that.
How many
Alright,
times
let's
does
end
Austin
this.
got last? 47.
47.
Whoa. All right, last thing we're going to hit on. We have the waiver wire, but we can maybe hit on just a couple of these guys or just go through the names real quick. Quarterback Gardner Minshew has scored at least 16 points in every game. That includes week 1, which he didn't even start. Is Gardner Minshew a startable quarterback?
All right, now.
Streamable.
Then win.
Yeah, you put him on your bench. That's about it.
This week.
Okay, we got
This week he's startable.
we got a few tight ends here. We have Gerald Everett, who in the last 2 games has got 12 catches for 180 yards. If he wasn't picked up before, he is gone now probably in your league. Probably got picked up this week, which he did in our league. I put a bid on him, but Turpin spent more.
Of course.
Turpin is a connoisseur of spending money on tight ends. But he spent $25 on him. I only put 5 on him. One guy I did pick up this week, coming back from his suspension, had a good year last year, was Chris Herndon. But he is not playing this week. He got injured last week running routes, which I did not know about before I picked him up.
I saw
So,
that.
so I've now dropped him for Bonifan, but I did pick him up for like half a day. But Chris Herndon, I think when he's fully healthy, will be a playable tight end. And if
Playable.
Darnold
Keyword.
goes back, that's all you can ask for with tight ends, Matt. Playable.
Yeah, unless you drafted Kittle.
I've dealt with Delaney Walker getting 2 targets the last 2
Okay,
weeks.
hey, so say y'all were in a league and Tevin Coleman got dropped, and you had
Okay.
a $200 fantasy budget. How much would you spend on Tevin Coleman?
So what Britt is alluding to is in our GFA league, aforementioned Blake.
No, we don't need to mention names.
Okay.
Too late now.
Blake decided, who has not made a claim all year, decided now was the time. He needed to pick up he has the Bears D, they're on bye. He needed to pick up the Packers defense for his week this week. So the rest of his team, he could have dropped Carlos Hyde, Frank Gore. Who were some other scrubs on his team?
Hunter Henry.
Hunter Henry.
Deshaun Jackson.
I mean, tons of guys that you would have dropped. He picked Tevin Coleman, which strange time to pick him since he just came back and had 16 points Monday night. But yeah, so now what we're dealing with is Tevin Coleman is currently on the waiver wire. Everybody is about to put in a monster bid on him. Britt currently has the most fab left. Will he put his money where his mouth is and bid it all on him? I don't know. But if he wants him, he could have him. So Britt, how much you bidding on him?
So, like how you swung it back on him.
Right now. I've been debating all day. I had $100 on him, and then I went up to 111, and then right now it's up in the air.
That's just, man, this late, and not that it's late, it's week 6, but I mean we're basically halfway through the regular season. For probably a bona fide wide receiver 2 flex is available right now.
Or
Pretty
wide
crazy.
Receiver, running back.
I said RB2 and flex.
Oh, I thought you said wide receiver. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's, in my mind right now, he's a low-end running back too. Yeah.
That's what I agree with. The only thing that might hurt him is Breida cutting into that, because Breida looked really good the other night. But if we know anything about Breida, he will get hurt at some point.
Wrong.
You're wrong.
But yes, Tevin Coleman, hot commodity. He will be gone at, 3 a.m. this morning or tomorrow morning?
Yep.
Oh, for sure.
So we'll see who gets him. A couple other guys. We mentioned Hunter Henry. He will be returning from his injuries soon. The thing with him, when he's healthy, is a good play, but he's never healthy. A few receivers. Tell me who you like out of these three guys. Sorry. We got Mohamed Sanu, who has 10-plus points in 4 out of 5 games. Deontay Johnson, who has emerged as the number 2 wide receiver in Pittsburgh. Or Alden Tate, who is filling in for the injuries in Cincinnati. He has 22 targets the last 3 weeks.
I'll go Sanu, Tate, Johnson.
I'll go Sanu, Johnson, Tate.
I'm with Britt, Sanu, Johnson, Tate.
Really? Mason Rudolph is dead right now. I don't know if y'all know that.
No, he practiced today.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, have you seen Weekend at Bernie's?
You just got
Alden Tate,
uppercut, okay?
AJ Green will be back hopefully soon, and then I don't know, how long is John Ross out?
He's on the IR.
He'll be back soon, so.
He's also dead.
Oh, actually, a couple more wide receivers. So Darius Slayton, because Sterling Shepard is out, and then Byron Pringle if Hill and Watkins are out. I think you got to go Pringle there.
Yeah,
Slayton, just based on the offenses. Last 2 guys, Chase Edmonds, David Johnson's banged up. I'm sure David Johnson will play, but Edmonds has even been putting up numbers when David Johnson has played. So maybe a guy, if you're a DJ owner, I think you should own Edmonds, because I think he can put up numbers in that offense. And then with Saquon still out and Wayne Gallman getting concussed, your new starting running back in New York is Jonathan Hilliman.
Yeah, I'm not picking him up.
What if I told you that we already picked him up in our 20-team league and we're starting him?
Well, if anyone knows about our 20-team league, it's that we're just going to pick up random people.
With our Instagram at all, we had a 20-team league that we're doing with 20 other Instagrams. And we had our draft back in July, beginning of July. Our first 3 picks were Melvin Gordon, AJ Green, and Lamar Miller. So that tells you how our season's been going. We finally won our first matchup this week, so we're 1-4. But we've scored the least amount of points by like 150, so not looking too good.
It's been rough.
But we're out there battling,
They're battling.
Doesn't matter. 9-7.
All right. Since we're dealing with waivers, I got 2 questions from Instagram, real quick.
All right.
If you want to answer. Chakal, I think I see him quite a bit asking us questions. Asks, is Gallup a set and forget it guy?
This Gallup is set it and forget it. I think it all just depends on who else you got, obviously. But I like what I'm seeing from Gallup. I liked him before the season, coming back from the injury. Like I said earlier, the Cowboys like to throw the ball a lot. Cooper opens things up. I think Gallup is a solid flex.
Britt?
Yeah, Gallup for sure. What'd you say?
I was like, that didn't even answer the question. It wasn't an either or.
I like Gallup going forward.
He's probably playing WoW right now.
No, I'm trying to divvy out my bid on Coleman.
I'm still thinking about
We
Tevin
convinced
Coleman.
him to bump him up his bid.
Yeah.
All right, last question. A23IMC ask AP at Miami or Drake versus Washington this week?
Oh God.
Yeah, it's rough.
Is Chris Thompson back?
Yeah, he's been back. He hasn't ever not been back.
I guess that just
this
shows
is
how
your
good
best
he's been.
week to play AP.
Just-
so you might as well go for it.
But you could also say, on the other hand, this is your best week to play.
Yeah,
Kendall
right.
Drake.
It's the battle of the undefeateds, as they haven't defeated anyone.
Matt, as a Drake owner, who would you say?
I think it depends on if you're playing standard or PPR. If you're going PPR, I go Drake because he can
Does he
catch
catch
that-
anything?
Yeah. And they've given up on Balaj now. Balaj is trash. Like, I'm pretty sure he's at the back of the bench. And if somehow Miami goes up big, AP isn't catching any balls. So, but if you're in standard, I'll go AP.
I'm going to say Adrian Peterson.
You said AP, Britt?
Yep.
Is that it for the questions?
Yeah, I mean, I could grab more, but that'll be good for now.
Yeah, we're good. All right, so glad to be back, hitting y'all with some knowledge.
Knowledge.
Got a little fantasy, got a little chill. We will be back next week to wrap up week 6, talk about week 7, and hopefully everybody out there is winning their leagues. If not, keep asking us questions. We enjoy the questions. We get them on Twitter at Fantasy and Chill, Instagram at well, I should have said Instagram first. That's our main hub there. Instagram Fantasy and Chill, Twitter Fantasy and Chill. Subscribe on YouTube Fantasy and Chill. We're gonna have some clips up there. Subscribe if you want to listen to it on the Apple Podcast app, Fantasy and Chill. Subscribe to Fantasy and Chill Snapchat. Matt controls that. You might see some stuff.
I see some nudies.
Yeah, might be Matt. Never know. Is that it? Is that all we got?
Pornhub.
Matt's got some fresh ones on there. He does some cosplay of some football players. He can only be really Christian McCaffrey, but
I was gonna say, don't get me. I'm trying to get in trouble.
so on that note, good start to the year. Glad to be back. See you next week. Be out.
Remix. When I ran up in this bitch and you were looking for a sequel, gotta fit my sandals somewhere, so I put it on a single. I'm the shit 'cause everything I say is fucking sequel. You can